This is lesson 7.1. We are going to find the area of a parallelogram and of a rhombus. We are going to use the area formula for a rectangle to help us do this. So the area formula for a rectangle is area equals base times height. So now let's see why we are able to use the same formula. Let's look at example 1. Look at the parallelogram below. If you move the triangle to the opposite side, you form a rectangle. So let's just look. Here we have a parallelogram. We have two sides that are parallel, or actually 4 sides, and 2 of them are parallel to each other, and the other 2 are parallel to each other. Now, what they're saying that we can do is we can move this triangle, the triangle that I colored in red, and what they're going to do is move it over here. So you might notice that once they move the triangle, it does form a rectangle. And so that proves to us why we are able to use the area formula for a rectangle to help us find the area of a parallelogram. So now, let's look at a rhombus. A rhombus is very similar. It says the pendant at the right is in the shape of a rhombus. A pendant, it almost looks like a necklace. It looks like a diamond. A rhombus is a parallelogram with sides of equal length. So a rhombus is a parallelogram, but now all of the sides are the same length. So the same reasoning of why we can use the area equals base times height, it's because if we take this triangle out that I'm coloring in red, and we put it over here, we again have our rectangle for the area equals base times height. So now let's try some problems. We have to just remember this formula, area equals base times height. Please make sure you have that written in your notebook. So let's look at example A here. It says the area of a parallelogram is 72 meters squared. Well, so that's the area. They're saying that the area is 72 meters squared. What is the height of the parallelogram? So we know that they said the area is 72. Well, the area is the amount of space inside the shape. So if area equals base times height, right now we're going to plug in what we know. They said, okay, that the area is 72. The base, look at the picture, the base is 12 times the height. Do we know what the height is? We don't know what the height is yet, so we're going to still represent it with that letter H. It is an unknown value. So now we have 75 equals 12H. We could have also just written it as 12H. So now our goal is to solve for the height. We want to get that H alone. Now this is just a one-step equation. We know how to solve one-step equations. Attached to the H right now is a 12 through multiplication. The opposite operation is multiplication. Of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide the right side by 12. Well, if I divide the right side by 12, I also have to divide the left side by 12. 12 divided by 12 cancels. Oops, I'm sorry. I made a mistake here. This should be a 72, not a 75. And so now we do 72 divided by 12. You can put it in your calculator. 72 divided by 12 is 6. So that means that the height is 6 meters, and that checks what we have right here. Now, remember that you need those units, 6 meters, because we are talking about the base, the height, or the area. Area, we're multiplying two numbers, so it will always be squared, the unit. Okay, let's try example B. Again, first step, write your formula. Area equals base times height. So they gave us the area and they gave us the height. So plug it in. The area is 135. The base, we don't know, times the height, look in the picture, is 15. So we want to solve for B. How do we get B alone? What should we do to both sides? We have to divide both sides by 15. Because 15 divided by 15 will cancel out. That leaves us with B. B is equal to, put it into your calculator, you should get 9. And it would be 9 inches. Because the word problem talks about inches squared. If we look on the picture, the height is in inches. The unit will always be the same. If it's inches, it's inches. If it's meters, it's meters. Centimeters, centimeters. Whatever it is, it will stay consistent. Okay, let's try another example. Let's look at these. Do you know? Okay. Number 4. First step, write your formula. Area equals base times height. We have to find the area. So we're just going to plug in. Well, area equals, what's the base? The base is 21.5. What's the height? 20. What operation are we doing here? Area equals BH. What operation is that? We are going to be multiplying. So make sure you can tell the difference between a decimal and a multiplication dot. Area is going to equal, put it in your calculator, what do you get? 21.5 times 20 is 430 inches squared. Okay, now I want you to try 5 and 6. So I want you to do numbers 5 and 6 in your notebook. We will review them tomorrow. Numbers 5 and 6 in your notebook. And let's just look at number 7. First step, rewrite your formula. Area equals base times height. So we're going to plug in what we know. We know the area is 440. We know the base is 22. We have to find the height. So what is the height of the rhombus? Solve that question also. We will review it tomorrow. That's number 7. So in your notebook, you should have numbers 5, 6, and 7 done showing your work.